Hello again. I'm now recording project 2. As you could see from your website that inside the module, module 2, in the teaching content, I have already uploaded project 1's video in here. So I am in the moment after I finish my video recording of project 2, I'll be happy to put that in beneath project 2. Okay, so in project 2's presentation, again, it's in this link, PowerPoint presentation. So in project 2, our focus is still on line. A central component to design is organizing specific parts into some type of organized whole. The process of organizing is called design. Whether arranging windows in the building or placing type on and images on a page, designers arrange items to achieve a feeling of order, of thoughtfulness. And let's recall something in nature that we could see fairly regularly. So have you ever thought about any moments you see a linear, what we call linear transition or smooth transitioning of linear elements in nature? Such as if you throw a pebble into a pond, you see that from the center, the waves created, it goes from like circles going from the center and spins traveling through space, right? Like for tides, we see ebbs and flow across oceans. There are also clear examples of the hypnotic power of linear rhythm. So rhythm is going to be our focus for project 2. As you read this syllabus, you experience looking at white lines, that means letters, on a black background. So letters can function as the figure, or we call it positive, while the paper is the ground, or we say it negative. So the object for this assignment is for you to achieve linear transition by creating a seamless rhythm of parallel lines by varying the width and spacing of the lines. Let me explain how that could happen. So we have two parts in this design. The first part, it's called subdivision of a ground sheet to create seamless rhythm. So what you can do in the first part here, where you see the black and white stripes all by themselves, one by one. Yes, if we pay attention to one color at one time in this isolation mode, we see that, for example, on top one, we see the white strips. It goes from somewhere, if I run from the right side, and you see that we run the white space here, it goes very small, it's tiny, and it gradually, when we move to the next white strip, it opens up a little bit, right? It keeps on opening up until it's somewhere in I think it's 1/4 of the paper where we see multiple white lines close to each other. You see the lines are more wide open compared to the first strip. So we see that consistent transition throughout. If we switch to black, you notice the same pattern, but in different locations. So it goes from the left side where we have a very narrow strip of black, and it goes to both ways to become bigger, expanded. And what matters the most is the keyword, smooth. It goes step by step. It does not open up from a tiny one and then boom to the big one. So it's very important that we manage the steadiness and smoothness of your transition. Now in the second part, where you're going to use a pencil and a piece of preferably cardstock paper, 8.5 by 11, and you're going to draw like this. Okay, so yes, you only draw lines, but what matters the most is the distance between your lines. So you want to make sure that the distance will go up or go down smoothly. As you can notice in this example, here in the second one. That's the second part. You will notice that the design actually goes from, I'm looking at the right side. So from something that's pretty open between the two lines and they gradually coming together, and then you draw the line. Now when it comes to somewhere we call it the central hub here, you notice that we can see an illusion of gray zone as if it goes within the page, right? So it's illusion because it's not true. We are still working with a flat image here, right? But the reason you could see illusion areas because what? Because the lines are so close to each other, and they create that gray zone that appears to be much heavier than its neighbors, right? So so that's the part we want to gauge the steady changes along space, so that illusion could surface. So in the first one, you want to create a seamless rhythm of parallel lines by varying the width and spacing of the lines. You're going to cut black on white, or white on black, doesn't matter in this case. You want to create the parallel line rhythm by pushing the line width to where the viewer experiences black lines on white and white lines on black. You're going to use the cut paper. Use a ruler, please. Make sure the lines are straight. There will be at least three transitions. The transition from black line on white to white line on black. So the second part, you want to achieve a seamless transition across the horizontal rectangle of groups of lines moving from light to dark. When we say light, it basically means the lines are they're kept with a distance from each other. The illusion of value is caused by the closeness of the lines to each other when grouped. The ability to control the flow of lines without creating a visual break is paramount. It's critical to the success of this project. And there should be as many transitions as possible with pencil and pen lines. Possible solutions, just like these examples. You can create figure and ground reversal, which is smooth. You can create at least 3 transitions, that's smooth. So one challenge I oftentimes see students facing usually is for the second part is they're pretty okay with the initial transition when it comes to the gray zone, but they don't know how to move on to the next stage. What you want to see here is the mirror. It's the mirror effect. You want to flip the previous transition over and flip it over. So that means you're going to go from gray zone, the lines are very close, and then gradually open up. Gradually, okay? So that means from small to bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, on the other side, you're going to go bigger, big, smaller, 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 tiny space. And then tiny it up and up a little bit, right? And open up, open up, open up, and then wide open. So that's how you can create this bell shape and then goes within. Okay, that's project 2.